Okay, this video is for how to use longhand division when you're dividing. So out of these two problems, I'm not going to worry about the right one. I'm going to work on the longhand division one, and then we're going to turn the page and do some other examples. This first example here is not on the standard anymore, so we are going to ignore it. Longhand division. So whatever comes after the division symbol, which remember we can write division as this. We can write division as a fraction, and we can also take a problem and write it with a -1 after the exponent. So we could do a division of a fraction bar or one with a -1. With that, longhand division, this binomial is going to go out on the outside because it is the divisor, and we're going to put the dividend underneath. So what we're dividing into. And so what we do every single time is we take this x, and we're going to see what times this x gets me x squared. Now, we're trying to go in this spot right here. So the actual exponent of the answer that we're looking for is the next one. What times x gets me x squared? It's x. So what we do is we now take this value here, we times it, times the first, x squared, and then we take it times the second, because this 2 tags along, and get plus 2. X. We're going to put some parentheses around it. We're going to subtract, because everything in division is repeated subtraction. X squared minus x squared cancel each other out. And then I have -6x minus 2x gives me -8x. And I'm going to drop down this 20. This next number is going to be divisible by this one. If these first set of numbers did not cancel out, you did something wrong. And if you do not have two parts subtracting every single time, you're doing something wrong as well. I'm not trying to be mean about it, but it's a very particular and specific process. And then what times x gets you -8x? If this number doesn't get times by a nice pretty integer, meaning no decimals, no fractions, then something else happened when we were doing our multiplication. So x times what gets me -8x? I'm missing a -8. So -8 times x is a -8x. -8 times 2 is a -16. We're going to repeat subtraction again. Remember, whenever you're subtracting something that is identical from itself, it cancels out. -8x plus 8x cancel out. -20 minus a -16 becomes a +16, so I get -4. Now I have no more x's, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my remainder. I'm going to go plus my remainder over what I'm dividing by. And so my whole answer for this problem is all of that. So we're going to do some more. I'm going to turn the page, and I'm going to go down here to the bottom. Okay. Whenever you have a number in front of the variable that you're dividing by, okay, these are ones you have to do longhand division on. So once again, 3a minus 2 is going to go in front. And I have 18a squared plus 6a plus 9. What times 3a gets you 18a squared? 6a. 6a times 3a is 18a squared. 6a times -2 is a -12a. Parentheses and subtract. 18a squared minus 18a squared cancel each other out. 6 minus a -12 becomes 18a. Bring down this 9. What times 3a gets me 18a plus 6. 6 times 3a is 18a. 6 times -2 is a -12. Parentheses and subtraction. 18a minus 18a cancel each other out. 9 minus a -12 is 21. Cannot have any more a's divide into this, so I'm going to take my remainder plus 21 over 3a minus 2. And once again, this whole thing right here is your answer. We're going to do one more, but before I do anything, I'm going to look at it and see if I can simplify, because if I can and it makes it an easier problem, then I'm going to use an easier method. So all of these numbers here are divisible by 3. So I'm going to have 9y squared plus 9y minus 10, 3y minus 2, and I see right here that this variable is still with a numerical number in front of it, so since I did that longhand division, simplified the fraction, I need to still do longhand division, so I'm going to go 3y minus 2 into 9y squared plus 9y minus 10. What times 3y gets me 9y squared? 3y. 3y times 3y is 9y squared. 3y times negative 2 is negative 6y. Parentheses subtract. 9y squared minus 9y squared cancel each other out. 9 minus a minus 6 gives me 15y minus 10. What times 3y gives me 15y? Positive 5. 5 times 3y is 15y. 5 times a negative 2 is negative 10. Parentheses, subtract. Remember, whenever you're canceling anything out and subtracting the same thing from itself, it cancels out. 15y minus 15y cancel each other out. Negative 10 minus a minus 10 is a positive 10. Cancel each other out. Gives me 0. Since I have no remainder, I don't have to worry about it. And this is just my answer.